All right, so we are now recording, and we got a lot of people hopping on. Awesome. So, guys, I have muted everybody, so please make sure that for some reason, if you are unmuted, if you can mute yourself, that would be great. But I hope everybody is having an awesome week so far. We're Tuesday, we're going to get into connecting too, and we're going to give you guys some awesome golden nuggets tonight on specific wording, and we're going to have Caitlin Lopez share, and Jordan Joseph. Sorry, I have a bug flying around, and Jordan Joseph is going to share. So awesome people, and it's going to be great. We got lots of good things going on. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, guys, and we're going to get started. So here we go. All right.
So guys, we do plan to stay on too, for a little bit after for questions and whatnot, but feel free. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on the chat. I know Amanda does as well, so feel free to post anything in there.
Yes, questions, guys, and we're going to stay on after 8:30. We will be done, officially done with the Zoom, but unofficially we'll stay after for anybody who needs anything. We're here to help. So, all right, guys, just a real quick recap of last week. So we started talking about connecting, and connecting is a huge, I don't even know what to call it, thing, like topic to cover. And, Stephanie and I have been talking about that as we've been putting this together, and, looking forward to sharing with you guys that, connecting is something that is going to evolve for you over time, and it's something that takes a while to master. So be kind to yourself, and the more you do it, the better you get at it, and it's just, if you've heard the saying that every master was once a disaster, and so you got to get out there and do it and just figure out what works for you. So, even top leaders in the company will tell you to this day that they are still improving their skill of connecting, constantly evolving, constantly changing. So just a couple of things from last week that we talked about. If you have not yet gotten the book, Go Pro by Eric Worre, please do. It's going to help you major. You can get it on Audible. You can listen to it on audio. Definitely recommend listening to it on audio, but also having a paper copy. It's great to go back and reference. I do it all the time, but he just has some awesome words of wisdom. Be sure to get your list, guys. Download it from Facebook. We showed you how to do that last week on the Zoom, and there's the recording and the Yacht Club. And constantly create new lists. So Stephanie and I are talking. I'm like on my 4th or 5th list. I just keep adding to it, and I subtract from it, and it's just one of those things where that's also evolving as well. And then keep in mind, connecting is an art, and it's going to evolve over time. There's no one way to connect. You're going to find your niche eventually, but you can't find that niche unless you start, unless you continue to, go through that process of connecting. There's a difference between direct and indirect connecting. We're going to dive into that a lot more right now. And then you should be connecting all the time. So connecting should be, I would say, your number one priority. Obviously posting on your page so people see you and you're visible, but if you're not connecting, your business isn't growing because it has no opportunity to grow. So, want to add anything there, Steph? Or are we good to go?
That's perfect.
All right, here we go.
All right, guys. So I know last week we talked a little bit about this, and this is the one, I'm going to be honest, the one I was the most comfortable with when I started, because direct connecting was not my comfort zone, but I had to get out of my comfort zone to get comfortable. So this one is an easy one. This one's all relationship building. So indirect connecting, I don't know how many of you guys have heard of FORM, but it's an acronym that we use to connect with people. So, asking people about their family and their occupation. And we say recreation, but things that they enjoy doing, mission, things that they're passionate about. So I would definitely write that down. I don't remember where we got this, but I go to this all the time. But this is just that genuine connecting of complimenting, asking questions, and looking for that open door to share your opportunity. So what I did down here, and you can kind of see on the slides, these are some of the ways that you can indirectly connect using form. So like when someone comments on your posts, like I will reach out to people and be like, hey, hey, Sarah, I saw your name pop up on my post yesterday. It's been such a long time. I love seeing all of your photos of your kids. I might have to go back to their page and take a look before I message them. And just, how have you been? What are you up to these days? And I wait for them to reply. And they might say, oh, well, I live up in Grand Haven right now and I'm a teacher, whatever. And usually people will say, what is it that you do? How are you? What are you doing these days? And I will just say, like, I'm doing great. Like, I'm a teacher as well, but I also recently started partnering with a health and wellness company that I absolutely love. Like, you should check it out. Are you open to checking it out? I just ask. And a lot of times people are like, sure, I'll take a look. So that's kind of one way. I just start with asking them about their family. How are you? What's your family? How are your kids? Things like that. I'll be honest, I don't usually get past occupation, because usually once I ask people, what have you been up to? What are you doing these days? They usually will ask you back. And that's usually a really good opportunity, an open door. And obviously, if they're commenting on one of your transformation posts, that's a little bit different. You can be very intentional. Just say, I saw your name popped up on my feed yesterday. Like, I don't know. I'm sure you've seen some of the posts that I've made, but I've recently started partnering with a health and wellness company, and the products completely changed my life. I really think you deserve to take a look. Is now a good time? And that's basically where I leave it. If it's something where they're commenting on like a transformation or a health post. The birthday messages, I don't know if any of you guys tried this last week, but I just message them. Sometimes I send them a video and I just ask them, like, what are you doing to celebrate your special day? Like, where are you getting together with your family? And I just have an ongoing conversation to build that relationship, compliment them. What else? Okay, so this one isn't where people are commenting on my posts and they're not, I'm actually going through my list and I'm finding people that I want to connect with, people who maybe are already into health and wellness, people who are, highly motivated individuals in the work that they do, or just people I haven't connected with in a long time, friends. And I just go to their page. And if they have a recent post, within the last, like, I don't go past 3 or 4 days. Like, it'd be kind of awkward if you're going back to somebody's post from like a week and a half ago and like commenting. But I just find like something that I can genuinely connect to and a photo of some sort and just comment on there and just say, hey, looks like you're having an awesome time. Like, where are you? And then I just go directly into Messenger and say, looks like you guys are at a festival. Like, what festival were you at? I see your kiddos. What are your kiddos' names? I haven't talked to you in a long time. As I go right to family to start. And the discussion just goes from there, and it has to be natural, and it has to be you, and it has to be authentic. And I know what people are going to say. What if people don't respond? Sometimes they don't. Okay, there's lots of times where people don't respond or they don't comment back, but I also keep track of that, and sometimes people just lose track of that in their messenger. So I'll go back maybe a few weeks later and go back and comment on their post again, or just reconnect with them. I don't know. This is, I feel like, one of the more simple ways to do it. Malena, do you want to add to this one?
No, I think that's really good. The one thing, you guys, that when you make a connection with people and you send them the message via Facebook, which is a PM, you get in. So what happens is Facebook has this algorithm, okay? And so like with the birthday posts or with posting on someone's page, it's so crucial to take a conversation and a connection off of Facebook and into private message. Because what that does is that gets that person into your feed and it gets you into their feed. And so, like we had talked about how posting and connecting kind of go hand in hand. So then they're going to start seeing your posts. So even if you are just doing an indirect, conversation and you're talking about family, occupation, recreation, mission, they're going to see what you're up to, and that might spark an interest for them to reach out to you without you saying anything. So.
Yeah, and one more thing, guys, is I always end my conversations. Like, one rule of thumb that Casey kind of always taught me was whatever people respond, So like if you're sending them a short message and they respond with this much, you kind of respond that way back, but always end with some form of a question to kind of put the conversation back in their court. If they're responding with this much information, you can be a little bit more thorough, but kind of meet them, tit for tat, I guess is the word. So, but that's how I do it. It seems to work. And just be yourself. Just be yourself. I say some loony things and I use emojis and everything else, but it's who I am, so it works.
Love it. Love it. All right, cool. Nice.
Okay, I'm sorry. Whoops, I was reading the chat because I didn't know if I was going to answer that or not. Okay, this one, we were kind of, Malena and I were talking about if this would be a good time to really dive into this, but so I think what we're going to do is just touch on it briefly, and then we can talk a little bit about it afterwards. And I know there is a video that Casey has that we can share with you as well. But guys, if you are not already in joining Facebook groups, this is a huge way to add to your network, to build your network and, create new friendships basically. So if I can't share my screen with you, but Malena can do that here in a second. But basically guys, like I'm in some really strange groups. Like I met some great people in a cool cat group because I have 2 cats and I love them. So, I mean, you're going to pick groups where you're genuinely interested in things. Like I'm not going to be a part of a boxer group. Like I don't have dogs, but like, a cool cat group. Like I'm in new mom groups, babies due in November, December, lean and clean eating groups, fitness for teacher groups, and I go into those groups intentionally once a week. Like I go into my Facebook, and I don't know if you guys know how to get to your groups within Facebook, and Lena can show you that, but I'll go in there and I will look for genuine posts of ways to connect with people or help me signs, where I can either offer someone a compliment or I can ask them a question. Or some people will just straight out and ask, especially in some of the fitness groups, like, I'm looking for a new protein and I'm looking for something else that I can build into my workout regimen, and I will just message them right away. So I would say that this type of connecting, I have to do it more often. It's dependent on how big your initial network is, but you don't want to burn through everybody that you already have. So like I would say right now, I probably do this, I don't know, a few times a month, but it may be just once a month to start. Lena, do you want to show them where this is just real quick, maybe?
Well, let's wait. If there are people that want to see how to do this, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it after the 8:30 slot. So you guys, if you're interested in, kind of learning how to do this, I can kind of show you how to get into a group, and then how to connect with people in that group, and how to go about friending them. We can do that afterwards. Yep. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, you guys. So we're going to talk about direct connecting right now. And after this slide, FYI, Caitlin Lopez, I'm going to ask you to share, because you have a really great story about how you transitioned from indirect to direct connecting and how you kind of do both. So you guys, direct connecting is very much up my alley. I'm very much to the point kind of person. And if you know me personally, you're like, yep, yes, you are. And that's okay. That's okay. So, some people are really going to find their niche, their way of doing things with an indirect kind of connecting relationship, and other people are just going to kind of go for it, and that's just where, I find myself, so make sure you lead with intention and confidence with direct connecting, absolutely with direct connecting. You guys, I go back to it all the time. Belief has got to be through the roof in the products, in what you're doing, and the fact that you're in this business to save lives. Period. The end. Physically and financially, and you want to change lives. That's why you're here. So, but direct connecting and indirect connecting, they really do go hand in hand. And so being able to connect with people on a personal level is a must when it comes to direct connecting. So just so I'm clear on that, talking with people, you know, about different things. And then, I'm sorry, this bug keeps flying around me, but you really want people to feel that you are invested in them, so they're not blindsided by you. So it's not like you're coming out of nowhere and just saying, you should learn about nutritional cleansing, it's going to change your life. You know, that's a little much. That can be a little overwhelming. Some people, a handful of people that might work for, but it's definitely not going to work for everybody. You know, I mean, this is 100% a relationship business, 100% getting to know people, finding a way to be able to help them, and, you know, truly being invested in them. You know, not finding, you know, a reason per se going into it to find a reason to help them, but going into it to build a relationship. And from that relationship, you've found a way to help them. You know, and that's what makes it fun, you know, and that's what makes it really not feel like work at all. So, so every time that someone likes or comments on any post that you have on your Facebook page, you guys, they're a potential prospect. You know, and so here's the difference between the two. So if I post something about my kids and somebody likes or comments it, that opens a door for me to kind of have an indirect conversation, you know. But if somebody likes or comments a transformation post, I'm going to message them, connect with them, and I'm going to literally go for it and say, thanks for liking my transformation post. You know, nutritional cleansing has, you know, changed my life. It's now a good time for you to learn some more information about it. Or obviously a comment, you know, if they are ready to learn, then we just start the conversation about isogenics. But, you know, like I said, prior to direct connection, indirect connection is ideal. So you've gotten into their feed, you know, you've commented on their photos, you've liked their photos, you haven't come out of nowhere, you know, telling them about nutritional cleansing. And, you know, if they're in your feed, if they're in your feed, then you're in theirs. And so they're seeing what you're doing. Belly to belly is huge. And we're going to give an example of this, but, you know, looking for help me signs, you know, if you are at the grocery store and you're in the health food aisle and somebody's reaching for a Cliff Bar, open your mouth. Open your mouth. We have a product that is absolutely superior to that. You know, or if you're, you know, in the health food store and somebody's reaching for protein, you know, if you're in Sam's Club or, you know, or Costco or whatever, and somebody's has these massive canisters of protein powder in their cart, you know, open your mouth, start a conversation. And I'm telling you right now, that takes guts and it takes time, but the more you talk, the more you get better at it. And yeah, I'm going to give some examples here in a second, you guys, but open with a question. So, you know, open with finesse. Don't just say, hey, you should learn about nutritional cleansing, you know, kind of talk to them a little bit, you know, give it a little bit of a buffer, and then just make it very intentional that you are reaching out to them for a reason, you know. And if you've been posting, if you've been staying consistent, they've most likely been seeing that. And so they're not going to, you know, have a bad taste in their mouth about talking with you. So right now, you guys, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And Caitlin Lopez, I know you're on here. Can you unmute yourself? You on here, Kate?
Yeah. Did it work?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? I've never talked through these earbuds.
Yeah, we can hear you. So, Caitlin, I know I reached out to you and asked you to share a little bit about your kind of connecting journey, you know, and obviously we're all still on it together, but can you kind of just speak to what we had talked about earlier today, you know, kind of how you have kind of found your niche when it comes to connecting?
Sure. Yeah. So when I started this, I came by this really honestly. I work with Stephanie and Malena. We're all teachers, and I had just had my son and really needed to lose the weight. It wasn't about the business at all. And so when I started posting, it was definitely the inception phase. It was really easy to get a few people on board because they were just like, oh, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And so I wasn't really connecting, you know, other than my posts. It was very indirect. People were seeing what I was doing and they were interested. Fast forward to now, you know, I think I'm on month 8, maybe 9, and I'm very much past that point. And so this summer, I think it was like May or June, Stephanie? Like May or June, I think. I was just really frustrated because once I got a taste of what the business could be, I was like, oh yeah, baby, I want to do this. I want to make that money. I want to get my products paid for, but I don't want to be pushy, right? Like that was my big thing. Like, I'm not going to push people. I really don't want to push, but yeah, I really want to do this. So I'm a teacher. Who all here doesn't want to be pushy? I like the hand raises. Yeah, no one wants to be pushy, right? It's really uncomfortable. You don't want to feel like you're pushing people to do anything, but that goes back to what Malena was saying. Your belief has to be 100. If you 100% believe that you're connecting with people to help them because they have a help me sign on them, then it makes it a lot easier, I think. But you have to really believe that. But so before, what I was doing was just making my posts, and people were kind of coming to me and, oh, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And that was really easy. I think I enrolled like 10 people that way. No problem. And then after that, I went months without any enrollments, and it was really sad. And I got really frustrated with myself. Like, what am I doing? And at one point, I think I reached out to Malena and her sister Melanie, and I was like, what are you guys doing? I keep seeing you add people to the group. I'm adding no one. I was just like defeated, like I was beating myself up. I didn't know what I was doing wrong. And it wasn't really that I was doing anything wrong. It's that I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't directly connecting to anyone because I didn't want to be pushy. And so they kind of showed me their scripts and what they say and how they approach it. And it's not my niche. Like Melena was saying, if anyone knows me, I'm very direct. I'm that girl. That's not me. When I walk into a room, I'm kind of hang out in the back. And so when they showed me their scripts, I was like, whoa, you guys go in with intention. Like, you state that right up front. I don't know if I can do this. And they were like, well, just try it. Let us know, blah, blah. And I think it probably took me like maybe a week before I even tried it, because I was so scared. I was like, I'm not pushy like that. I'm not pushy. Not that you're pushy, Malena. But it's just out of my comfort zone, But I tried it, and to my surprise, people weren't turned off by it at all, because I said, is this a good time to learn more? They can say no. If they said no and I kept pushing the issue, then I'm being pushy, right? But if I ask if it's a good time to learn more and they say yes, then what's the harm in giving them the tool, like a video or something? So I really had to step out of my comfort zone, for sure, 100%. I couldn't just let the inception phase keep going, like wait for people to come to me. That wasn't going to work anymore. The people who are going to come already came. So now it's more my job to reach out to people. Like, I have 1,000 and something friends on Facebook. I haven't even touched that. So I have no excuses. Like, oh, I have no one to reach out to. No, that's bullcrap. I do. There's 1,000 people on my friends list. Like, I'm not even to the point where I have to be in groups if I don't want to. I have 1,000 people I haven't even touched. So yeah, I would just say, if you want this and you want to make this business work, you're going to have to try things that are different. And it's going to take a lot of self-reflection. Like, I was critiquing myself, like, why isn't my business moving? Why isn't my business moving? At least I had the wherewithal to critique myself, and realize that there was a problem. Well, I was the problem. I wasn't doing anything. So I don't know if that helps or not, Malena.
Caitlin, I love it. Your story, that story is huge, because I think there's a lot of people on this Zoom who are exactly where you were. And so, and I love that you felt like it was pushy, but then when you did it, you were like, it's not pushy. So it's like you released yourself.
Right. Like, my fear of people thinking I'm pushy was not from them. Like, hand raise again. Who has ever actually had someone say, wow, you're pushy? Has anyone say that?
Nope.
I don't see any hands, you guys. None. So that fear was just me. That was my own perception. Not a single person has told me that I'm being pushy. So I would just say, remember that. Like, you're not being pushy. No one has said that to any of you. I didn't see any hand raises.
Awesome. Thank you, Caitlin. So good. So good. Okay, guys. So we are, I'm very diligent about time. So we do have scripts that we want to share with you, but we definitely want Jordan to be able to share as well. He is really great at connecting, just like Caitlin is. So Jordan, can you unmute yourself and hop on here? Are you with us.
You should know that I'm not diligent about time.
I know you have 5 minutes, homie.
So three quick things. Like Malena messaged me, and asked me if I would share, about connecting in my strategy. And, in the beginning, it was the products. I was trying to be a product of the product, and I was almost leading and sharing like from a selfish way because I was doing this for me. And then once I started having results with the products and feeling great, and other people started jumping on board, it wasn't even a high number of people. It was just the first few people that came on board had such great results that I found that I was inspired, and it was still kind of selfish because I got gratification out of the text, the messages, like the interest, the people coming to me, like, because I was, they were coming to me because I was leading by example, and so from there, it kind of just progressed over the next few months, and I went to Growth U. And Growth U took me on a whole new level as far as connecting, because I realized that I connect better on the internet and social media and through live and to people belly to belly when I'm inspired. So I have basically centered my focus for connecting and growth and everything on intentional inspiration. I'm a maniac podcaster. YouTube video, like I haven't listened to a song on my headphones in the gym in months because it's inspirational presentations, inspirational videos, inspirational song, different things, presentation, podcast, because when those are done and I get ready to leave that gym, I've actually walked out of the gym in the middle of a workout and went live because I was just so damn inspired. And same last night or a couple nights ago, I was sitting here and I'm on this 21-day challenge. I'm constantly challenging myself to something new. And I didn't want to go to the gym. It was day 5. And I said, screw it, I'm going, because I know someone out there is watching. So I went, I posted about it. And I said, the last part of my post was, if I can do this, anybody can. And I had 2 people reach out to me before midnight last night. And one of them is ready to enroll. And the other one I have a call set up with. And if I wouldn't have went to the gym that day, I wouldn't have connected with those people. So it's not even just direct connection. It's connecting on your Facebook, almost like you're talking to people directly. I even write it like I'm talking to people sometimes. So I'll post like, I know you're watching me. I know people are watching, whatever. But I mean, three quick things I want to say. I feel like I'm rushing, but and it's all related to connection, and it gets kind of deep. But one of the things that I really believe is, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, you're going to connect with anybody. When you're nervous and you got those jitters, I mean, picture being an asthmatic. If any of you guys are an asthmatic and you have an asthma attack, think how badly you want to breathe. If you want to succeed that badly, you're going to forget about all your insecurities and how scared to death you are about talking to a stranger. And you're going to walk up to them because the outcome is going to be greater than that little bit of insecurity that you're going to have, or the fumble over your words. The next thing that I want to share is, to be able at any moment to sacrifice what you are for who you're going to be. And that inspires me to connect. At any moment, like I'm willing to sacrifice, an hour at the end of the night or an hour of sleep. Like I'll stay up till 2 a.m. And, sometimes I sacrifice that sleep and I fall asleep listening to inspirational things, so I'm sacrificing that for what I'm going to be. Or I'm staying up following up with people till 2 a.m. because they're in different time zones. So sacrifice things now. Sacrifice the TV, the junk food, the alcohol, the snacks, the events, like different stuff you don't need that's taking you farther away from your goals. Sacrifice that now for what you're going for, because that's going to help you connect. Because this is all about connection. The last thing is don't be. It's painful for some people to connect.
Jordan, yeah. I don't want to interrupt you. Don't feel rushed. You're giving so many great golden nuggets. Please take your time. Please. Sorry.
Lindsay, yeah. Go ahead. Lindsay Kramer crushes this business, and I've heard Lindsay say over and over again that she struggles with connection, and it makes me think about, she's even said to me it's painful for her, and I hear these nuggets I take from this inspirational stuff, and it's, to me, it's that much more inspiring. So I just wanted to share it, like, if not just for her, but for other people. Like, the pain is temporary. Like, just go out and do it, because the pain is temporary. It might be for a day, a month, a year, but eventually the pain's going to subside and you're going to be a better connector, in every single way. And, something else is going to take its place. Something else is going to take the pain's place. And even for me, there's certain people I struggle with connecting with, because I feel inferior on a social level to certain people. But once I read this about the pain being temporary, and no matter how long it is, and something else is going to take its place, I've enrolled physicians, you know, and I was so scared to talk to the physicians at work because I'm like, they're going to grill me about the nutrition, and I don't know enough, until I realized that a physician knows jack squat about nutrition. They're given an hour of nutrition class all through med school, you know, and so they asked me questions, and it made me feel more powerful. So I realized that pain was temporary, and I got over it. And it was never different from day one than it was from day 365. It was just me in my own way, you know? So, and just keep in mind that if you quit, that pain's going to last forever. If you get scared to connect and you stop connecting, that pain's going to be with you forever. I plug in as many of these calls as I can. You know, I did everything I could today to get out of work just so I could share this message, because I've listened to all you guys talk at different times. And connection is really painful for some of you guys. Some of you guys, that's a little painful. And then there's Malena. You know, so I mean, you know, but like Caitlin just said, you know, envy and jealousy it's the thief of all joy. So don't look at somebody else and what they're doing and go, I wish I could be like that. Take what you do and just get better at it. Endure that pain and make it a strength, because it's going to go away and something great is going to replace it. And I mean, I feel like all three of those points have to do with connection, because all three of those points have helped me connect with people in the last year on different levels.
That's awesome, Jordan. And when you say that, I just want to add something if I can, because you and I have connected out. You know, I'll message you because you do lead with a lot of confidence, and that inspires me. And you know, guys, when you're at that point where you're struggling, like, reach out to somebody who is doing what you want to be doing, and just pick their brain, talk to them, let them fire you up. And Amanda made a good comment over here. It says, being nervous, scared, and overwhelmed is making it about you. It's never about us. It's about who we're out to help. If Amanda would have sat back and been scared, nervous, overwhelmed, worried about me telling her no, worried about me grilling her, questioning her, my life would be in a completely different place, both physically and financially. So if she would have made it about her, I wouldn't be here, you know, and she didn't do that. She made it about helping people, you know, and stepping out of her comfort zone. So you guys, Malena, Jordan, those of you that are, you know, you guys inspire me, because you know me, I'm shy. And I have to just put myself in these uncomfortable situations to move past it and to get better. So if I can do it, everybody can do it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Jordan. That was a big gold nugget there.
Yeah, Jordan, thank you. And, you know, guys, one thing that, you know, Jordan said with, you know, if you're Malena, you know, it's, I love that. And it's, you know, I have fear, I have nerve, but at the end of the day, I go back to my why. And my why is the two little boys that I have right now, the baby girl that we're about to have, and there is nothing that is going to stand in my way from providing a life for them that they deserve. And so there is something in your life that is going to trump all that fear. Something is just going to wash it away. So, you know, find that why, get your belief to 100, you know, and when you hear Jordan speak, you know his belief is 100,000, you know, so thank you. We appreciate you, bud. You're awesome. You guys, I am going, it's 8:33. I know we're over time. You know how I feel about time, but I think that this is so valuable. Jordan's laughing at me. You know that, I mean, we're going to just kind of keep going. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen, and we have actual scripts that, you know, I've used and Stephanie's used, and she's going to share, you know, a couple of things that she does, and I'm going to share a couple of things that I do, just to kind of give you guys some wording to send people if you're struggling, you know. And I think one of the number one reasons why people don't reach out is because you say, well, I don't know what to say, you know, and you can't worry about what not to say, just open your mouth. And the awesome thing about Isogenics is we have tools that we can send people. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. All right, so here we go. Maybe. Okay, so here's a couple of scripts, you guys. And these are direct connecting scripts that we're going to share here. And I'm literally going to read them. So go ahead and take a picture, you guys, with your phone. We are also going to, this entire Google Slides presentation, you guys, is all a continuation, and we're going to put it in the files tab of the Yacht Club once this series is over too. So I have someone that I am looking to connect with. So I've been doing a lot of indirect connecting, commenting on her posts, and, kind of learning about who she is. We've been friends for a long time, but hey, Carrie, I'm so glad we're connected on Facebook. It's been a long time since our junior tennis years. Your family is gorgeous. I'm reaching out to you to share with you about nutritional cleansing. It has changed my life. I've crushed weight loss goals, gained energy, and feel amazing. As a busy mama too, like me, I think you'd love it. Are you interested in learning more? And so once I start that conversation, you guys, she might not answer me. She might not respond to me, but, rarely do people say no. But people do get busy, but, a lot of times I get, I would like to learn a little bit more. And so then that opens the door to sending a tool. And my two favorite tools right now are Just Cleanse, the Mary Evans video, and then Transform Your Life. And this particular gal, I would probably send her Transform Your Life because her and I we're the same age, same place in our life. She's also a teacher. And I think that it would be really good for her to kind of get the whole kind of feel of, where Isogenics is coming from, because Transform Your Life does a really nice job about, where we are, with helping people physically, but also with helping people financially as well. So that's like a script of, just with someone that you're connecting with online. And here's a belly to belly. This is a great, look for help me signs, you guys. When you're out, constantly have it on your radar of how can I help people? If you hear people having a conversation, about nutrition or about, I wish I could lose weight, obviously, don't be creepy, but is there a way for you to interject into that conversation? But so I was at Aldi the other day and I noticed a woman putting, the Aldi brand, I think, protein bars in her cart. And I literally walked by her and I saw her doing that. And I came back to her and, she had her daughter with her. I had my kids with her. And I was like, hey, I noticed you're purchasing protein bars. Do you buy them from here often? And I started a conversation with her and we kind of talked a little bit about, protein bars and things that we've tried. And I asked her if she had heard of Isogenics. And I told her about our meal replacement bars, and I think that she would be interested. And would you like to learn some more information? She's like, oh, I don't know. And I asked her for information, and I think she was a little weirded out by it. And that's okay. It's okay that, if anything comes out of that conversation, I grew from talking to her. And so, but I had a card. I have these cards from Isogenics that, Glenn and I had made. You can get them, in their back office from ISO Tools. And I gave her a card. And if anything comes of it, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. But, I just made it a point to open my mouth, and that conversation is going to continually improve. In retrospect, I'm like, oh, I could have done a couple things differently. I probably could have said things differently. I probably could have connected with her a little bit more on a personal level. Maybe she would have gave me her Facebook information, but you live and you learn. And I learned that, and I wouldn't have learned that if I wouldn't have opened my mouth. So, all right, Steph, you want to take this? Hey, John. Steph, you there?
I'm talking with the mute button.
Oh, I'm like, yeah.
So for me, my direct connecting, I really am intentional about looking for people who are already really into health and wellness, or are already into nutrition, or who nutritionists, or who are nurses. And I reach out, hey, it's been a long time. I see the pics of you and your beautiful kiddos all the time. How have you been? I wait for them to respond. Okay. And then I go back with a lot of intention. I'm reaching out to you for a reason. As long as I've known you, you've been passionate about health and fitness. I partner with a health and wellness company, and we have incredible products that support weight loss, energy, and performance. I really think you deserve to take a look. Are you open? Usually I just say, are you open to looking, or are you open to taking a look? Yeah, definitely take a photo. Sometimes, guys, I go to people who are nurses who I might think might not want it because they already know everything about nutrition. And I just say, hey, I'm reaching out to you for a reason. This may or may not be for you, but it could be for someone but I recently partnered with a health and wellness company, and I give them the same spiel. I really think you deserve to take a look at it, or will you give me your opinion? Sometimes I ask people who I think are already very knowledgeable, like, would you be willing to take a look at it and just give me your opinion? And like, yeah, sure, I'll take a look. Give me give me my opinion or whatever. That one I like a lot, and I feel most comfortable with. I'm working my way towards out of my own comfort zone. The help me one I don't do as often. So Malena, I know, do you want to talk about that one?
Yeah. So, you guys, so looking for help me signs, while you're on Facebook, this is a little different than belly to belly, obviously, belly to belly, you're looking for, are they, being in a store it's gold, and Zach and Eden Slobin they're great. They share about how, when they first started their business, Zach tells a story about, Eden would come home and he would be like, Eden, did you reach out to your 5 people today? And she's like, no. And so she would leave their house and she would go down to like Trader Joe's or, their Whole Foods, I think it was. And, she would just stand in the nutrition aisle, and so she would meet 5 people that way. So, and that they would do that, and they would just connect with people, who obviously are there to live a healthy lifestyle. But so here's a great example. We've all got friends who are, overweight, trying to lose weight. We've all got friends who say, I'm so tired. My kids, I'm tired. I have no energy. We've got, people who say things about, oh, I look so old, or the gray hair in my, whatever the help me sign is, there's something. So this is a good example. So I have a friend who's overweight and she's trying to lose weight, and she's had a lot, she's got a lot of weight to lose, and she's just very open about posting about her journey, and it's very inspiring. And she, posted the other day about how she had fallen off the bandwagon, and, she was, really discouraged and, kind of, upset with herself. And and so I reached out to her and I just, hey, Becky, you are so inspiring with your post and your weight loss journey. I loved cheering you on. So I made a connection with her, and it's true. That's a real connection, because I constantly post and like, go girl, you got this. I think you would be very interested in the nutritional cleansing system I use to help support your goals. This system has changed my lives, sorry, typo, and so many others on my team. Would you be interested in learning more? And of course, she said, well, yeah, I would. Thank you. Thank you for reaching out to me. Thank you for your compliments. Thank you for, commenting and cheering me on. And, we've got a great indirect relationship on Facebook. She puts it out there, and, she's learning more, and that's just where she's at right now. That's the phase that she's in. And, because she has so much weight to lose, I'm probably going to support her a little bit differently and pull other people in. And next week we're going to talk about 3-way calls, guys. So we're connecting is going to segue into getting other people on the phone to help you support these people that you can't necessarily relate to. And it's okay. You're not going to be able to relate to every single person. So is there anything else that you want to add right here, Steph? Good. All right. So Jordan, we obviously interjected you a little early. So do you have anything else that you want to say, Jordan? I know that you just have so much knowledge that it's awesome.
I don't know. I did.
Sorry.
I lost my train of thought. It's fine.
Okay. That's okay. Well, we're gonna stick around, you guys. That's all we have for sharing slides per se. So if you need to hop off, that's thank you for taking an extra few minutes, you guys. Like we said, connecting is a huge, just hurdle. It's a big thing to cover. So, but we're gonna open it up for some dialogue right now, you guys, and some questions. And I can show you how to get into a Facebook group. We'll do questions first, and then I can show you guys how to go to find groups. And then, yeah, go ahead, Jordan.
One thing I just want to say, it's relation to the pain part about people saying it's painful, to connect, and it kind of relates to my job. Like the things that I see people come into the hospital with, like, and it can sound kind of morbid, but like when you see someone come in genuine pain, like from an assault or an abuse situation, whether it be a child or an adult or something, which you know, if any of you guys have been in that situation and you're on this call, then you are already eons ahead of any of us that haven't been through that. And you need to take that energy and channel it, you know, into this. Like, because the only thing that you have to do is get over the pain of connecting with people and be here in 5 years, and you will have surpassed your corporate income, like just by following the steps, you know, of connecting. And I mean, you know, pain, I relate pain to so many things, because when I look at, you know, when I had my walking moments of like, you know, is this the right thing? Should I be doing this? Am I going to do this? Am I going to stick with it? I thought about what it felt like, one, when I lost my dad very young, and two, what it felt like when I was in the hospital with cancer and told I could never have kids. And so every day I think about my dad dying young, and if that were me, if I ever quit this and I go down that same path, or two, how blessed I am and why I would ever let an opportunity like this slip and not do all the work that I need right now to make my life better, but to secure a future for my kids' lives so they come out of it one step ahead of me. My parents always told me growing up, the biggest thing we want you to do is to be more successful than us. You know what I mean? And I mean, so that's my motivation, is like, one, I feel like I already am by just what I do. But I mean, all that, the whole pain aspect, like, we're in pain every day, you know, whether it be physical, emotional, something pains us in some way. Just channel that pain and make it worth something, make it worthwhile. You know, like, nobody cares. The things you guys think people care about, they could give two blanks less about. It's you, like Amanda said, it's you that cares, nobody else.
Right. Awesome. Love it. So good. Okay. All right, guys. So we're going to open it up for questions right now. Like we said, connecting is big. So does anybody have any questions about the scripts, or just about indirect, direct connecting, anything? Go ahead and unmute yourself, guys, and just speak up. Nobody. Does anybody have anything that they want to add? No.
Something you're struggling with? I think that, oh yeah, who is that?
I was going to say, if everyone's silent, no one's telling the truth right now.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's
right,
okay.
I'll speak up and say something if you guys can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I was sitting over. I had my dog trying to eat my face, so I had to shoo him away. You know, like for me in the beginning, the hardest was like, you know, I've done sales. I've worked at Best Buy, sold computers for Hewlett Packard and stuff. But for me, my biggest obstacle was, you know, I'm still in the beginning, but a couple months back, I felt I was always trying to get people. You know, and then for me, once I got over that, like it literally hit me. You know, I drive for FedEx, and one day I was just out driving, and I had just got done talking to someone that I wasn't even trying to help, and like it just hit me that, wait, I'm helping people. You know, and for some of us that are struggling, like if you can get over that you're actually, you know, you're not a scummy salesperson, and you know, our products do help people. And when you have that first moment where like you help somebody when you really weren't trying to, and you realize that you're helping people, like now I can just talk to people about it. You know, like when I was in Atlanta over the weekend, granted I only talked to like 2 people about it, but it was 2 more people than the 0 than I would have done 2 months ago. You know, so, you know, if anybody is going through that too, where, you know, you've just got that, you know, feeling like you're pushy or a scummy salesperson, we're not.
Right.
You know, because like if someone's coming to you about it or even brings it up, you're helping them. You know, and I don't know whether that was helpful or not.
That was very helpful.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what this is all about, and I think that's why it's hard. I remember when I started, I was like, no, tell me exactly what to say and how to say it and when to say it and exactly how to script it. And I wanted to know everything. And it just Amanda was very good about, like, you got to take yourself out of it, take the outcome out of it. Your belief has to be there and the rest will come. So I've been there. And that's why and Malena says it will evolve. It will, because you'll figure out what works for you and how to push yourself out of your comfort zone. It will come, but you got to do it for it to come. Does anybody else have a question or comment? Don't be shy.
That was gold, Ron. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, that was awesome.
So I have a question about doing live Zooms. Or not doing live Zooms, doing live on Facebook or going live on Facebook. Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. So I have like huge anxiety, which you wouldn't know that because I'm a nurse, but I just have trouble talking to people face to face. And for some reason, when I try to go live, I just can't. Like my thoughts get all scrambled, and I really love the whole concept. Like I've seen you guys go live, and I just love that interaction. I can see you guys talking in your faces on Facebook and know what you're doing. And I would like to get into doing that. Do you guys have any advice for like getting over that fear and anxiety of going live? Because I feel like I sound like blah, blah, when I'm on there. So
you just have to do it. And I know that's and I want Jordan to hop on after I talk, because he's a liver for sure. But you literally just have to do it and kind of start, Mary, start where you're comfortable. So, and I've encouraged people, like, if you're in a really beautiful spot, like let's say you're out for a walk, just go live and be like, and just talk about something that you're comfortable talking about. Don't feel like you have to talk about Isogenics to start, but make it a transition for yourself, and, go live with something, that, like with, I don't know, with Charlie, when you guys are out or, whatever, and just, say, I hope everybody's having a great night, something that would be really simple, keep it short and sweet, and just do a series of those, so you pop up in people's feeds, and then once you get up the courage, you just got to do it. You just got to go and Lindsay will say it until she's blue in the face. Everybody's going to hear exactly what they need to hear when they need to hear it. So whatever you say, whatever comes out of your mouth is going to be perfect and perfect timing. So Jordan, where are you on this, dude? With you and your life.
I just want to say you didn't, this goes back to like celebration. You weren't born knowing how to ride a bike.
Right.
Whatever you did for your career, you weren't born knowing how to do your job for your career. You weren't born knowing how to run. You crawled and then you walked and then you sprinted, and then your coordination came. This is the same thing. That's the great thing about the mind is you can retrain it to do anything. It's basically you just getting out of your own way and telling yourself you can do it. You believe you do it. And one of the things that I do is about 6 months ago, a little longer, but I was big I started listening to the Chris Harder podcast. And before I went to Growth U and went to Tony Robbins, and, I learned there's a power move, and then Tony Robbins calls it getting in your state. And Chris Harder calls it a mantra. So my mantra for the last 6 months is every single time that I felt like I needed to get into state, which I didn't realize was me getting into state, which was before I went live, before I would talk to somebody new, before I would do a product call on a Zoom, I would tell myself over and over, and I would raise the pitch of my voice and the tone of my voice to myself every single time I said it. And I say, I'm happier, healthier, wealthier than I was yesterday. I'm happier, healthier, wealthier than I was yesterday. Or I'm happier, healthier, wealthier than I was a day ago. And by the time I say that 3 times, I 1,000% believe that I am happier, healthier, wealthier than I was a day ago. And you want to know what's happened to me over the last 6 months? Every day the last 6 months, I've become happier, healthier, and wealthier because I've said that every single day. And then I went to Growth U, and I realized that it was that, Rod calls it your power move. So I created a power move. If I was nervous about something or didn't want to talk, I would do my power move. So I would pound on my chest and I go, woo, like top of my lungs. My endorphins would just flow, and I get the chills even doing it now. My kids are sleeping, but I'm not doing it loud, but like you get the chills and you're ready to go. And when you do that in front of people, it draws their attention and you own the room. And if you went live and you did whatever your power move was, you're owning that because you're surprising people. They're focused on you. They're paying attention. And then I went to celebration, and I realized that all that scientifically was me creating my state. Like all those things I was taught from Chris Harder and then going to Growth U, what Tony Robbins explains it is you're putting yourself in your state, your peak state, where you're focused, your belief is at the ultimate high, your confidence is at the ultimate high, and you're just ready to go. And like Malena said, there's nothing wrong that's going to come out of your mouth. Everything that comes out of your mouth is intentional and perfect because you're at your peak state, and everything you're saying is with intention because you're saying it at your peak and with your heart and with everything you've got. So, those are just little things, and that's tidbits I picked up from because I've plugged into the resources So, I mean, that's for live. That's huge for me. Like going live, I always put myself in my state. I always say my mantra. And if I have to, I'll do my power move if I'm just not there yet. Because every day, you know, you're not in the same state. So you have to do something different to get yourself in state.
Is there anyone that you would recommend listening to kind of get your motivation up that you could just like get on YouTube or get on and listen to them like in your car?
I love Rob.
Because I've got like 5 different books that were recommended to me that I've been reading, you know, but
I love Eric Thomas.
Harry Thomas?
Eric Thomas.
Eric Thomas. Okay.
I listen to the Chris Harder podcasts. I listen to, you know, the Isogenics podcast. I listen to Eric Thomas on YouTube, Jim Rohn, you know, Tony Robbins, you know, Rod Hairston, obviously. You know, you just it's who you mesh with. I like the higher energy guys, the fiery guys. You know, Jim Rohn's good, but Jim Rohn to me is very monotone, but he's so full of knowledge that he still inspires the hell out of me. You know, but I really relate. Maybe it's because Eric's from Michigan, I'm from Michigan, and he's just high energy. But the words that he says, because he is who he preaches. He came from nothing. He lived on the street. He had out of garbage cans, and now he coaches multi-billionaires, leaders, and companies and dignitaries. And he grew up on the streets and was kicked out of his house. And basically, you know, he came from nothing to something, you know, and I respect that. So that makes me look at him and go, you know what, if this guy can do it, I can take the middle-class lifestyle I lived in and the energy I have and the network I have and grow it into anything I want. It's just about the level of belief. And he creates a level of belief in me that I have no doubt that I'll get where I want to go. So, I mean, you just got to find someone to connect to.
All right. Thank you.
That was great, Mary. That was awesome. That was a really good question because that's a huge fear that a lot of people have is going live. But, you know, they'll tell you all day long, live is the way to beat the Facebook algorithm. And if you guys know what I'm talking about when I say the Facebook algorithm. So Facebook has like changed in the last year or so. And it like, you'll notice that you see all the same friends and stuff and, you know, on your feed or whatever. But, you know, just do you, Mary, you know, whatever's you, do you, and people are going to love that, you know, and your goal is to just, you know, bring people to you, you know, and so if it's about Isogenics, great. If it's not, that's okay too, you know, just do you. And just,
can I just say I'm sorry, Malena, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, Mary, I totally feel you. I have such severe anxiety. I took medication for it for a long time. And when Malena told me at Celebration, Caitlin, you need to go live, I was like, no. I would literally rather get hit by a bus, eat a bag of hair. Absolutely no. I'm not doing that. No. And like so many times I would start and I would hit the button and then my hand would shake so violently and I would just like start freaking myself out and I couldn't do it. So I found this podcast. It's a girl she works with, kind of works with Emily Vavra. Her name's Angie Lee, and I can message it to you. But I related to her so much, and she does these podcasts. I hope there are no kids around, but it's called Rich Bitch, and they're funny, and I mean they're so like I feel her energy. We're so similar, and she talked about her anxieties of getting out there and network marketing and all of that, and I so related to that. So honestly, I would listen to 10 minutes of one of those before I went live, and I did my first one, and it scared the crap out of me, but once I did it, I was like, yes, this is awesome. Like I did this, and it really did. It changed the amount of people that I reached out to, looking back on it, and then I would see there were 300 views, then there were 400 views. It was like, I didn't even know I had that many friends on Facebook. So it's crazy, and it really does change things for you. And I mean, if you even have to I do it every now and then when I really get freaked out, but I prop my phone up on something, so I'm not even touching it. Like no one can see my shaky ass hands, and I was just keeping them somewhere else. Right. So if that's what you got to do the first couple times, I mean, you got to do what you got to do and do whatever you need to do to, you know, listen to different podcasts and hear different perspectives. But I'd be happy to message that to you too, because it helped me a lot.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So good. So good, guys. All right. Does anybody else have a question or something they want to share? That was awesome. Live videos is something that we got to do it, guys. Everybody go live right now. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody get off the Zoom and go live. No. Good luck. All right. Cool. Okay, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and just kind of really quick show people how to get to a group. Does that sound good, Steph?
Yep.
How to connect? Okay, all right. So if you guys know how to do this, feel free to hop off or, whatever. But if you would like to, how to get into a group on Facebook, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm actually not going to join a group. I'll show you where groups are because normally you have to be approved to be in a group. So I'm not going to wait that out. So just FYI. All right. So let me go to Facebook. All right. Can you guys all see my everything? Somebody give me a...
Yeah, we can see it. All right, I can see it.
Thanks. Okay. All right. Okay. So when you guys are on Facebook, and it obviously looks a little different on your phone, but when you're on your computer, you can click on groups. My phone is, or my computer is thinking. Okay. So these are all of the my pending invites. Ooh, I should accept some of these. Okay. But so groups that I've been invited to. And then if I scroll down, I have groups that I manage, and then I have groups that I'm in. Okay. And so obviously I'm in a lot of groups, but you can click on discover and you can find groups that you're interested in. My goodness. All right. So Stephanie, give me a group. Give me something to look for. All right, I have a Jack Russell. So
sorry, I keep muting myself because I don't want to any background noise. But
that's okay. But I have a Jack Russell Terrier, you guys. So I'm going to search for Jack Russell. And I know you might be like, what does that have to do with isogenics? That's not what this is about. This is about creating relationships and things that you're interested in and that you can genuinely connect with people on Facebook. Did I spell Jack Russell wrong?
No, you got it. Jack Russell Terrier. You got it.
All right, Jack Russell. So I'm going to join this group. All right, and the request was sent. All right. Oh, come on. Really? Okay. So I think you guys get the gist. You obviously have to. I have one. Okay. All right. So you can join groups, obviously, whatever groups that you desire. Okay. And it's very easy to do. But I'm going to go ahead and go back to my group. So I'm in this group right now, and it's, so we just recently launched in the UK, you guys. And so I spent a lot of time in this group. And it's my mixed breed group. And it's a UK group. And so I'm making friends from people in the United Kingdom. And it's kind of awesome. But I love getting on this page, and I'll post about my dogs. I'll post pictures of my dogs because I have 2 mixed breeds. But look at this guy. He's cute. So this is a dog, obviously, who's talking, probably howling. And so what I can do on this post is I can be like, aw, he's so cute. What breed is he? What breed mix is he? And so my goal is to start a conversation, you guys, here, on Facebook. And then if this person responds to me and we kind of go back and forth for a couple of minutes, then it would be appropriate for me to send her a friend request. And if she accepted my request, I could just say, hey, I'm glad we're connected. I love, connecting with other like-minded people. I have 2 mixed breeds. Tell her a little bit about my dogs. And I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but, Stephanie's in the cat group. Glenn's laughing at me. But,
Lori, I think that's where I met Lori. She's one of my consultants, so.
Right. So this is just a really great way to genuinely build your network, you guys. Make some more friends on Facebook. And, so what I will do here is I'll wait to see if she responds. And I've made probably like 3 or 4 friends from this group, but I friend requested more than 3 or 4 people. People are probably like, okay, who is this girl? And that's okay. And that's fine. People are going to do that. But, the goal is to just, make a note of it, and, add someone to your network and, let them, take a look, and then look for help me signs on their pages and build that relationship with more of an indirect relationship. So I hope that helped you guys. Are there any questions on this? Or Steph, do you have anything that you want to add right here?
No, I just put it in the chat. I know we're going to talk about this later, but if you guys haven't been to Casey's Learn to Go Pro,
yes,
she does a whole entire video on just this, where she spends a lot of time showing you how to connect and what to say. Yeah. So I put the website over there in the chat, but
yeah, perfect.
Put it on the club.
Yeah, it's an awesome video, guys. It's what, just over an hour, Steph, and it's just really, she goes really in depth on it, and it really helps a lot, and that's another, if you're hesitant to connect, that's a good place to start, because you're on Facebook, if you're hesitant to go out and actually physically talk to people belly to belly, you can do that. So, all right, cool. Anything else, Steph?
Nope. Right. Thank you guys for staying on, and
yeah, for sure. Lots of good people. Lots of people saved. So thanks, guys. All right. Does anybody have any other questions or anything that they want to add? I think we're good. The last man standing. All right. Cool.
Everybody that's on here though, next week, get somebody that wasn't on these Zooms the last couple of weeks.
Right.
It's our mission. We're gonna invite some new people.
Yep.
Get them on.
Next week's following up and 3-way calls. Ooh. So good. So good. So, all right, you guys. Everybody have a great night. Love everybody. Bye. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Caitlin.